Too bad we don't have a broadcast sound. Like doo 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 doo.
I know, right?
Breaking news.
So I believe we are live now.
uh, let's just take a gander.
Don't
I
be
don't
like
see
me and
any.
play it in the background and then it start
I'm
echoing.
I'm looking. I'm trying to see it. I don't see us yet. I
No?
do play it in the background though. No, I don't see us yet. Are you on like a secret account? A secret YouTube account that you stream? Imagine? Stream into like just a regular Nate Spencer account or something.
Right.
I don't want to crack one until. Oh, we got ads.
We got
Hello.
we got it?
Hello.
Let's go. Alright. I have to figure out how I'm getting out of this freaking screen. Because right now I can't see anything on the stream. So
We look great.
that's sweet, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you got the cool background on and everything.
Yeah. But usually I'm able to see comments. I was able
We
to see
live.
comments last time.
Hello, everybody. Hello, AJ. Hello, Malik.
Oh, there we go. All right, I got comments on and everything. Sick.
Excited. It finally worked. A couple minutes late. Everything's just finally worked a little bit.
Hey, so just so the chat knows, this is my first time doing a two-person stream on Streamlabs.
Yeah.
I did the single person stream on Streamlabs on our last stream for the before Atlanta, and it went semi smoothly. And
Oh, yeah,
now,
that's right. That's when I was buried deep into the Mustang pits of hell. With zero sleep and feeling terrible. All I wanted to do was just sit down and actually have more than an hour or two to just like lay my head. It's like, all right, shower, sleep, maybe nap, and feel bad that I'm not on the live stream with Nate.
oh man,
But yeah, what's going on? FD Atlanta,
yeah.
crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I mean,
Why?
not too crazy.
Yeah, there is no controversy at all whatsoever.
Yeah, never that. I mean, it's just a plain old dry event, good weather all around.
Yeah, it was nice and chill. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's up, guys? This is the little hangout stream that we were starting to do after each round of FD, and talk about how some of it went, and obviously, just like every round, there's no controversy or anything, so it should be a good conversation. Um, but then we'll let more people get in here as the stream gets in here, but just trying to load up the old phone to check out what we have to kind of get started with, But I mean,
There's so much. There really is.
and
I mean,
yeah,
every run was something. Honestly, like overall, like just like prospect dudes this year came out looking, I felt significantly better overall than the year prior. Uh,
okay. Well, let's before we even talk about Pro Spec and Pro, I want to talk about Road Atlanta.
okay.
I have a gripe with Road Atlanta, and it's the layout. I don't like it.
What is there not to like? I'm
Okay,
curious about this.
okay.
Is it how much walking?
No, it's the no, like the actual drift layout. I don't like the entry because it promotes choking off, and I think it causes 90% of the issues that we see.
Oh,
I don't like
the
that it's an inner clip. I
the
wish,
perhaps Bystrack Richards
well, just any,
debacle that might be going.
well, just like it promotes center punching the inner clip there, and it's like I would
It does.
rather somehow make the cars go wide to give the follow car a chance to get in there without cutting the course. And I've
Yeah.
I've always thought that, and it has reared its head so many times this event with just the follow car just trying to wait for the lead car to go or cutting the course massively to try and make
Yeah.
sure that they don't get left going up the hill. And it's kind of all I'm a big hater on inner clips in drifting.
Oh,
Like
dude,
I
come on.
inner clips I think are just the antithesis of drifting because you are trying to hit this clip and it kind of creates a choke point, and that's not really what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give them a good lead so that it's easy to follow per se.
That's what, like, the proper line is hopefully not to choke, but everybody takes advantage. It's like I was having this conversation earlier with Bystrack actually, and I was saying, I was like, if everybody makes that same mistake, it's like you get a curve like grade, like there's no repercussions to consistent failure. If one person does it right, then like okay, they're gonna shine a little bit more, but like overall, they're not. It's if everybody else is still doing it wrong or like doing the bad thing, like they're not gonna get dinged for it because it's just gonna be one after another, and yeah, no, but I feel you on the choking, but it shouldn't be like that. And like I'm saying, I think the drivers take advantage of the fact that if they all do it, then like they that's how you win. Dale Earnhardt style. You just break the rules a little bit until they just change them.
Yeah. So
Damn, I've never thought of it. Atlanta's like one of my favorites because it is fast, and typically it's just like whoosh, straight through.
I just don't think it promotes good lead runs. I think it promotes people that cut the line and are able to get out of there as fast as possible.
For sure.
And the thing is too, in chat, you guys can let us know if we sound all right. I know, Loud Boy over here has got his mic basically shoved into his mouth. So
No way I do. I can't turn it down. I don't think.
but no. So that brings us into the first day. The older layout that Oswald ran should come back. Is that the one where they go the other direction around the circle?
Yeah, they enter the keyhole like on the first rather than the second.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, Malik just agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely. I thought that they were actually going to spice it up this year and do that because it's been so long since they have ran that layout, and I feel like it's more of a driver favorite.
Yeah. The only other, I think the complaint was that it's a bigger drag race down the hill, but
it definitely leads to showing off who's got the bigger power rather than like going from that dig and then going up the hill. Like you have that, like, I don't know. I feel like just the way how physics work in my stupid brain, it would just be like you could show off how much faster you are just based on how much money you dumped in your car.
Right.
Going down rather than up. I could be wrong. I don't know anything. I've driven a car one time.
There's an interesting topic. They need to run Utah backwards.
Oh yeah, my boys agree. They want that so bad.
Yeah, it would be really interesting.
And it would like kind of alleviate the sun problem that they consistently run into.
Yeah.
Like that's like their biggest gripe is
Can't
they
see.
start doing competition when like the sun is just right at you. It's like damn. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that would be cool. I'm all about like different variations of the tracks that we do run already. Yeah. We were there for a reason because we could fit all of these drivers, and not every track can do that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I guess we can start and transition into the basic. Just go day by day into the different days of drama that happen throughout the weekend. And
yeah, we were both there at Tuesday.
Yeah, well, we were there.
Tuesday.
Yeah, except, so for those of you who don't know, I work for Link ECU, and we put a link in every prospect car basically. And when Link comes, or no, when the prospect drivers come in and check in their cars to like get teched and stuff, we gotta make sure the the lights work with the ECU and stuff. So I got to meet a lot of the new guys that are coming into the field this year. Really, really cool guys. Some interesting builds as well. There was this stock body New Edge Mustang. I thought that was pretty interesting. And I am sorry.
It was pretty neat.
I forget the guy's name because I talked to him for like half an hour about it too.
Well, I mean, there's like 17 different new drivers this year for the pro spec fields, and they all have very unique names.
Yeah, exactly. But he was really cool to talk to, and the rear end on that car is pretty sweet. Very cool car. And I just love seeing different stuff out there. And they put the correct engine in, which is the LS as well. So
did they?
Yeah.
Is that why it actually was able to make it pass? I'll be.
As your boy found out, you know.
Yeah, well, even a new age, you can't beat what's been proven for almost 100 years like this point.
Yeah, I didn't know LSs have been around that long.
Well, not necessarily the LS, but the same natural, design.
Yeah.
So, but dang, yeah. I didn't have to really do all of that, obviously.
Yeah.
I was able to just, I don't want to say hang out, but I was just shooting within the pits of my 3 Amigos.
Mm-hmm. Having good times.
Something of that, rather.
Yeah. But so that was really cool to kind of see the process. And the thing is that I will say a lot of the pro spec builds are a lot better this year. I mean, obviously everyone that came from previous years kind of has their stuff all together, but I will say the new guys did a really good job at getting their cars to where it needs to be. And there was like 1 or 2 that had to do like major modifications to get their car past tech. Pretty much almost everyone was like just little tic-tac stuff, and that was easy to fix, and they made it through. So I think shout out to the pro spec guys, like, for getting their cars ready for the first year pro spec. Like, they did a really good job.
Poor Dustin Miles pulling up to right, wasn't he pulling up to tech and his hood flew up and it cracked his windshield?
So let me tell you this story about Dustin. Okay, so Dustin obviously pulls up, right, but Dustin's a very let's say he wears his emotions on his sleeve, okay?
Yeah.
So he pulls up, and you can tell something is wrong. You just see him, and his face is so down. And I'm like, what happened? Like, and then I look over at the windshield, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then obviously I hear the story. So Dustin, apparently they were talking. He had his guy shut the hood, but he told him not to shut it because there was like something they had to do still. They got to talking to someone else, totally forgot about it. So on his drive up to tech, hood flies up, cracks the windshield. Well, you can't pass tech with a cracked windshield, so they had to put a new windshield in.
I mean, that's like, honestly, thankfully, like an easy fix. Like, you just, but still, it was just like, son of a bitch, man. Like, sucks for the hood. He just got that thing like all done and ready to go, fresh paint, like, cause he's a big paint guy, big OG style. That's why he's got miles of style. But yeah, man, so demoralizing, you pull up with your tail between your legs. It's like, damn, Kevin's gonna just call me an idiot.
And that's the thing. Kevin is super understanding about stuff too. Like, he's like a super like understanding guy when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Like, and he helps a lot of the new guys out with ideas to maybe help make sure their cars pass tech, obviously, but then hey, a lot of guys do this. This would probably help you with that situation, kind of thing. And he's been super helpful, and he's great to work with on the ECU side as well. And I agree, AJ. That's one of the guys I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about him when we get to whenever comp was for Prospect.
Well,
it'll be the second
Friday.
Day.
The real comp Friday.
I want to talk about Brian because I also met Brian. Brian's cool. Brian's a cool guy. From Cali. Super laid back, super chill.
Which one is he?
Brian Willis, he's got the big wing
Oh, the
S14.
S14. Yeah,
Yeah,
and beefy driver. He
yeah,
drives crazy.
yeah. He's a good time, but
Yeah.
yeah, great dude. Met him. I think he was there Tuesday, so I met him Tuesday. Uh, but yeah, no, it was a good time, and then we get into practice. Well, obviously we saw the weather was gonna be. So it was this Thursday. Yeah, so
Thursday.
Thursday
Skip. Yeah, Wednesday is still just like the same stuff
check-in stuff
of
like that.
just
Yep.
check in whoever's showing up. Like I really wish that Bias track. I wish you chose Wednesday instead of Tuesday, brother, because
But you don't like sitting
uh
around doing nothing?
no, I didn't like having no sleep and then driving all those
Oh,
hours through the wee evening to try to get there to try to please poor old Kevin.
yep. Well, you got to,
Uh,
you know.
I, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
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 no, yeah. So then on to Thursday, where it's the hour and a half, basically four potential runs of practice during the patchy slash incredibly disastrous weather.
yeah. So so to start the day, it rains before practice. So, and then at the beginning of practice, it's not raining. So the track is completely trash. It's super patchy. It's junk. And then we get slightly into practice. It starts to get a little dry, and then towards the end of practice, it's just downpours, and it's like, so these guys really, maybe a couple of them got a semi-dry track for a lot of it, but there was no practice whatsoever on a dry track, and it was just it's tough when it's your first time driving this track because the only way to drive this track now is to drive Formula Drift. I believe
Yep.
there is no other events anymore. There's no Grid Life South.
Yeah.
RIP.
Yeah.
That was a great
Yeah.
event back in the day.
Yeah. Now it's at Carolina Motorsport Park or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, so you got to think, these guys are coming in the this is the hard part, and this is the debate for ProSpec is should they be running Atlanta? Are they good enough to run Atlanta? And that has always been the question because if they aren't, then they can just go run Orlando. We're gonna have much closer battles, and it's gonna be chill. But the thing is you drive FD. You want to drive the coolest tracks. Obviously,
Yeah.
Atlanta is much cooler than Orlando.
Yeah. Green neon walls.
Yeah, it's so ugly, dude. But so you go into practice. Practice is basically a crapshoot at that point. You're just trying to semi get a feel for where and when to enter, and this is my problem with Atlanta. No, it's not my problem. It's the hard part of Atlanta is so much relies on entry.
Yep.
Well, the whole run,
100% relies on entry.
relies
Yeah.
on entry.
If you
If you're
if you fuck up your
shallow,
entry, you're doomed.
yeah, you zero. If you're shallow, if you're short, then you basically park the car and the run's over. If you go too
Yep.
hard, you're in the kitty litter. Your run's over.
Or
And,
if you save it, then like now you're just like parked on the outside and like gonna immediately slingshot yourself to outer one like for no reason.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the hardest part is if you have zero practice on a dry track and you don't know where to enter. Like
Yeah.
you're just going off of other drivers' feedback at that point. You're just like, hey, this is where I've entered in the past in previous years with a different car, like,
hmm
and you're just like, okay, I'll
hmm
try,
I think if anybody was smart during those practice runs, that they should have just used it to make sure that their car was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like disregard any actual, which I'm sure most of them probably did,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe not the newbies because maybe they're just anxious to be out there and
Oh
everything.
yeah,
But like the ones that have been around or whatever understand that like come comp time, the conditions are nowhere near going to be like this, and it's just like why beat up something that doesn't matter at this point.
yeah, and you saw that a lot of at least quite a few drivers didn't even drive that day. Like I know
Oh yeah,
a bunch of pro guys didn't drive that day or drove one or
yeah,
two laps, and they're like, okay, I know the track. It's not
Car's
gonna be.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like this tomorrow. So no reason
Nope.
on trying to hurt the car.
And dirty it on top of it because
Hmm.
it's just a slop fest out there with rubber and dirt and stuff.
Yeah. So obviously it gets to comp time.
Hello, Catalyst.
Yo,
Sorry.
what's up? It gets to comp time. Pro Spec, it's a shit show. Let's be honest.
Well, we're on the Friday now. Disregard like the seating bracket. The seating bracket was a miserable time
No, that's
for
what
the
I'm saying.
prospector.
I
Oh,
meant Thursday.
okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Thursday. No,
No,
the
you're good.
seating
You're
bracket.
good.
I was like, the seating bracket and Prospect was a shit show. I'll be
That's-
honest. It was just like, if you could complete the course, you won. That
yeah.
was how it was, and it's like,
Uh,
and it's unfortunate because it was such a bad reflection on Prospect, and obviously the internet just flames them all, and
Always.
probably rightfully so. Like, yes, you're
Yeah.
a pro driver, you should be able to link the course.
Yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, maybe dumb it down a little bit. What got you to that pro license? Like not having that stature of a car, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And the
so
thing
it's
is everyone says
like
take grip out, and they're right.
Sopa's thing before like
Mm-hmm.
the 20 pounds of pressure and all that stuff is like, yeah, well, AJ for sure, for sure. But yeah, no, like Sopa was right, and like I wish that more of them, like at the end of the day, like it, you're not that pro level yet. Like yeah, you're pro spec, you're pro, but like put on that show. Like you got to market yourself, so like maybe put
And
on a better.
this is the
Sorry.
hard part about Atlanta is because speed matters.
Yeah.
That is the problem. You can't cut the crap out of a track like Orlando and keep up if you're slower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, you have to be as fast as the guy in front of you because there are very few. Like, if you get left and gapped up the hill, yes, you can cut the course when you get up the hill, but then it screws you when you try and come back
Yeah.
down.
Once they come out of keyframe
Yeah,
or the
you're
keyhole,
not.
I almost called it a keyframe.
Yeah.
I gotta, I gotta chill.
But yeah, once you get out of the, once you get choked up in the keyhole, and then they run away from you again.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's it's unfortunately that's how Atlanta's track is, and that's why I don't like it.
I got you.
you
Yeah.
know,
I
and
think that everybody should just
and
step it
everyone's
up a little.
saying loosen your car up, but that's the problem with Atlanta is it's very hard to cut the track if you have a slower car
Right.
and make it look good.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Because there are. I mean, like I say all the time, it's like Prospect is fun to watch once you get to the Final Four, and I hate to say that, but like
I
it's
would argue top 30, top 16 was pretty fire this year.
top
This year.
16 was actually really good, but
Yeah.
like average, like in the past couple of years, like
Yeah.
you could really count on like those, like the solid battles, like and the top eight or like top eight-ish, top four for real,
Mm-hmm.
and like those dudes will continue. Like they're obviously in the top 32, so like those guys, like even if like everybody majority loosens up their car, like those guys aren't.
Right.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're still gonna take off and still dominate because they know how to drive, rather than like put a band-aid on something and call it a day.
Oh
Like
yeah.
so I agree with like Sopa's thing, but at the other end of it, it's like these guys need to just figure it the fuck out. And I'm sorry to be like mean in a way, but like there's a few out there that genuinely just, I don't know if they just don't care as much or have like that motocross mentality of just send it, dude, but like they excel. And it shows.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like Tommy Lemaire, dude. Tommy Lemaire, I mean like fucking rips.
Well, I just want to say that I called it, and I
Yeah.
forget the media's guy's name, but he works for FD, and he was wearing the beanie. I told him that my guy was Tommy, and
Forget the one that wears the. Are you being sarcastic?
what's his name? What's the kid's name? Is the young kid
Oh,
that works for FD?
I thought you meant Jake.
No, I don't remember his name. I
He works for FD.
yeah, remember he
And
does
wears
video for FD. He was wearing a beanie that weekend. I can't remember his
Peyton?
name. What?
Peyton.
It might be Peyton.
He was
He's not a
working
regular.
with.
He's not a regular video guy for him, but because Tyler wasn't there.
It was Peyton then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He but yeah, I was talking to him about it, and I told him he's the guy to watch. But
It's a possibility, AJ. Honestly, because he was on one.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, and he's a guy that I think would have gone pro if he didn't have car issues 2 years ago, where like his car failed him for like 2 or 3 of the rounds.
Yeah, he couldn't even make it to one, and it sucks because there's only 4. If you can't make it to one in Prospect, it's like, golly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think he's obviously not a rookie, but I think he's gonna mess up the field pretty good this year. But yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, and so obviously we also had pro seating bracket as well. I'm trying to remember if there was anything drama-wise that happened there.
In the pro seating bracket?
I don't think there was, though. I think it was pretty standard.
I think it was pretty overall, like, I don't want to say easy to judge, because it's never easy to judge, but, yeah. I had to change color up a little bit.
Oh, you a little yellow and pink and...
it changes way too much, holy shit.
Look at you trying to be a fancy streamer, and now you look like you're just in a
It's going to all the colors. It's going all, well, not all of them. But yeah, no, I think that was pretty straightforward to the pro seating bracket. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just trying to
By
remember.
that point in time,
all the stuff I remember is in the much later rounds that I want to talk about, anyways. So
for sure, for sure.
Congrats to Dima. He made it through his bracket, so that was his first pro win that he got. I don't think Derek didn't win. I'm pretty sure he lost. He lost to Dimitri. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Ben didn't make it through again.
Ben didn't make it through.
And this time it was him. It wasn't the car.
For sure.
And that's the thing, is Ben was looking great in practice.
I mean, like, I think the same thing. I also thought that he looked pretty good in the seating bracket too, but then I can't tell if that's like my bias and like my love for Ben and the tire smoke that car puts off. And I'm just like not realizing that like maybe he's offline. Maybe he's doing like a lot of like.
I think he's zeroed in the run. I'm pretty sure he straightened or something in the run.
Yeah, he definitely did something, but I mean like even in practice though too, because like other people I remember even in the live stream they were saying that is like, man, Ben isn't looking that great. And it's like, I don't know, I'm looking through the camera, man.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good to me right here.
Yeah, well, and you gotta remember that car drives completely different than any other drift car you'll ever drive in your life. So it's like it's literally learning a new car. Just the way those things drive and the way they're set up. It's a very weird. It took Chelsea to know for an entire probably 2 years to get that car figured out.
Yeah.
And Ben's got 2 events. So I think if he, obviously, I think the pressure is going to start getting on him if it's like event 4 and 5 and he still hasn't made it into like regular bracket stuff. So, but yeah, just a bummer to see. But everyone's going to have their day. Eventually, usually it's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting more and more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first round he went and fucking pile drive the wall. So I mean, definitely got to come back a little bit from that. That's a little humbling.
Yeah, AJ just brought up a good point. So you remember Kyle Mohan hitting the wall
at this round?
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah, all the way on the outside.
I've never seen anyone hit that wall before.
That's true. That is very true.
Good call, AJ, on that. I was like, I forgot about that. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, Kyle, but it's kind of funny.
I feel bad for that poor man.
Yeah, he's been trying to make it work for forever. So,
yeah.
I can constantly say between watching FD and Drift Masters, I was more engaged while watching Drift Masters. FD, in my opinion, has gotten to a point where it's too convoluted by its own existence. You know, and I think there's some truth to that. I
Yeah.
unfortunately wasn't able to watch Driftmasters because of FD was going on, and I've been editing nonstop for the last 4 or 5 days. I still have stuff to do, but I thought, hey, maybe we could do like a hour, 2 hour break from editing and still staring at a
Be here.
computer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
little
Still getting
decompression can't.
hemorrhoids.
Yeah, little decompression can't hurt.
Yeah.
But no, I think there's a lot of truth. It didn't look like a great track personally from the video footage I saw on Spain, but I can't. I watched like 4 or 5 runs, so I can't say anything on it.
Yeah. I mean, but I do feel what they're saying, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
though. Like, the overall, like, FD experience, like, you see it in, like, while we're streaming. It's just like, great, gotta go to the ad stream now. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
like, uh, it does suck. Like, they gotta make their money. But at the same time, like, maybe cut it back. I don't know. Like, I don't know how that works,
Well, you
honestly.
gotta.
And then, like, but like my biggest thing is just in between. Like, there's people always up at the line, and then we're still talking. It's
Yeah.
like we're waiting for a battle, and we're
Yeah.
still talking about the
Mm-hmm.
last one
Mm-hmm.
for like a minute and a half, and it's like that is what loses you the like engagement and the people watching and stuff like
Right.
that. Like, so yeah.
Still talking, and they're coming down the hill, and halfway through the run, they're like, "Oh, and to this battle." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And it's like
are
I
you
get it. Like, you're
serious right
you're
now?"
trying to play a story and everything, but like, yeah, we're not on TV anymore. It's like we're not on G4. There's no, like, there is a story to be told, but like there's got to be a limit in a way.
Right. You know, and the thing is, you have to remember Driftmasters is not on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a big money production from Red Bull, so
Yeah.
it's kind of comparing apples and oranges when it comes to ads and stuff.
Oh, it's
Because
so bright.
because you guys got to remember, Red Bull's fitting the bill for Driftmasters. That's why it's on their platform and all of that. So they aren't going to run the ads that FD is going to run because they don't have the big money, I guess, sponsor that literally runs the entire show. And it's on YouTube for free. So I completely understand the ad side of it. It does slow down the competition, but, you know,
Yeah.
drifting in
Yeah,
general is
like,
slow.
not as much weight on the ads because
Yeah.
I do get them, but more of the, like, what are we doing after the, like,
Yeah.
there's so much, like, just downtime of everybody just standing around, hanging out, people watching, just sitting there. Yeah, I could definitely see where the frustrations come into play.
Yeah. So I
But
think, yeah, but as far as like running smoothly, I think obviously everyone was shitting on Prospec on
yeah,
uh
on
fr-
Thursday,
on
yeah.
Thursday. So I mean, it was, your congratulations. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you get to
then
beat up on all the new guys, but it's
you
kind of like
we
initiation at this point for new guys.
we can go back and
Yeah.
watch all of our footage from the practice of the pros on Thursday, and we could replay back every single spin out on entry
Yeah.
because they wanted
It
to
was
do some.
ugly. Dude, it was
It was
so
not
ugly.
good. Like, honestly, like, it's no better, if anything worse. Like,
Yeah.
there was more spin outs and less like more incompletions in pro than there were in pro spec for practice, at least.
Hmm.
Like, I know that they were trying to feel it out and everything, but like it was pretty bad.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind when you guys are ripping on those guys. But we move into Thursday. All right, Thursday is pro spec. It's dry.
Friday.
Friday. I get them all mixed up. I was there for a week. Do
It was
not.
bad. It was a long time. It was a long time.
But yeah. So we're there Friday. It's dry. All right. Cool. We get a good hour of practice in. Ran really smoothly. Lots of good driving. Uh, honestly, I was pretty hyped. Top 32 went pretty smoothly, honestly. There was some really good battles in top 32, some not so great, but overall, I thought the driving was pretty good. And then top 16 was gnarly, man. I think I was that was by far the best Pro Spec Atlanta event I've seen.
Yeah.
Uh, Even going back to the Pro 2 days, I think that is the best, most competitive event. For
People
Pro Spec
definitely
there.
really shined.
Hmm.
Like I don't know what happened. They just like flipped the switch. And
Well, a consistent track helps a lot, and these are a lot of
yeah.
these guys have
Well,
driven the
for
track
sure.
before, so I don't even know who made it the farthest that was a rookie. Obviously, you got to talk about Brian because Brian, opened some eyes
Oh
there
yeah.
with his driving, but I, I, I should just
Damn,
have the
damn
freaking.
near passed somebody on entry. I think that was practice, but like damn near passed someone on entry.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
bananas. I was like,
uh,
I actually I came up to him afterwards. I was like, "That's a bold strategy, bud."
he definitely probably was clenching some cheeks on that one.
Yeah. So, but that brings me to something. But I just want to pull up the bracket real quick, if my internet works, which it's not at the moment. Okay. Yes.
We love that.
Yes. Atlanta. Oh, I don't want pro yet. I want. There it is. All right. Sick. Rahimi Yeager, Davis Buchanan, Chen. Yep, those are all same dudes. So I think it might be him as one of the top performers. Uh,
Willis or Wills?
yeah. Well, there was no rookies that made it into top 16 or
Yeah.
top. Yeah, no rookies made it into top 16. They're all guys from before. Which honestly, it makes sense. Like this track is a track you need to drive,
Yeah.
and it showed for sure. But
Even
yeah,
on a sim, there's only so much that a sim can show you, honestly, on
exactly.
this track.
Yeah. So I think running the way Brian did, I think he's going to be a problem this year. Just the way he drives,
Especially at E Town.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is such an easy track to like surge on people
Mm-hmm.
constantly, and
Yeah.
that's what he's all about.
Yeah. So he was a cool driver. But something that I talked to him about, and this is not the only guy that had this issue, was he was saying, and this is only during competition, which was the weird part, that he would initiate and then floor it, and nothing would happen for like a couple seconds, or like he was having
Oh,
throttle, and all of a sudden it would just light up. And it worked out for him because he's stuck with
yeah,
everyone.
maybe that
But
was on his like his good shoulder, you know.
I know,
The
but
evil was flooring it early, but then the good shoulder was like delay, delay,
yeah, yeah.
delay.
Maybe he just wasn't letting the clutch out or something. I don't know.
Right.
But but the thing is, he was having pedal issues. Amanda Sorensen had pedal issues.
Ricky Hoffman.
Ricky had pedal issues.
Yep.
There
I know
was,
that
I think there was
Vaughn
an
had
like
the nitrous thing going
right, but
on.
that I'm talking pedal issues because you know how in the rule book they have to run stock pedal boxes, right?
Which yes, and
And
that is like I don't agree with that.
yeah,
Personally, I don't agree with that.
and they're finding parts in these are failing, and I wonder if that's a detriment to the series.
Yeah, I mean
And I didn't
one of the
really understand
reasons.
why they did it to begin with. Like, is it really that much cheaper to run a stock pedal box versus a real one? Like,
No,
but
you gotta spend more money probably to try to get that thing to work.
right. So it's we've already seen the first event, a couple of failures with the stock pedal boxes. So maybe something to keep an eye on for the future. I just wanted to point that out. That's kind of um, you know,
Yeah,
some
it's just weird.
it's just
Yeah.
weird, like there's three different. I think there was another person, and I can't remember off the top of my head that was having
Well,
pedal issues as
Hobson
well.
on the first round,
Right, but
but
he
that's
that's
different.
different. Yeah, that's different.
He's
Yeah,
got a whole thing going on.
yeah,
But yeah, I do feel like that there was somebody else.
hmm yeah.
But
There was
yeah,
another guy. AJ Buchanan is not a rookie. He was here last year, and it was
oh
a
yeah,
pink uh, pink and green 350Z last year. Is this,
Kind of the
yeah,
same
yeah,
type of deal.
similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his car looks much better this year.
Yeah,
Um,
for
he has
sure.
a kit that fits and stuff. Um, but yeah, the Catalyst, the Kubota was the real star of practice. You
It
know,
really was.
honestly, it was. You know,
The
and
whole event, honestly. They pulled that thing out if there was like a quarter ounce of like dirt on the track. So
well, and you kind of
they
have to
they yeah,
be fair.
exactly. I was gonna say they kept it clean. They genuinely kept that track like mint.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had some. I thought Buchanan. Obviously, he makes it the top four. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good finish for him. I
Going
think.
up
I don't
with
think he.
Alex.
Yeah, I don't think he's gotten to a top four before, if I remember correctly. I know
Mm-mm.
he did good on one round. I just don't remember if it was top four. But that's a good result for Cody. I feel like second year, already making his way up the ranks. He's a guy from I believe Wisconsin area. Um,
Good old V8, dude.
yeah, so he's starting to really show his comfortability in that car, which is good to see. Um, but yeah, I mean this event went pretty, like I said, smoothly, and I think one of the
Chris
guys,
Leonard,
yeah, Chris had a good battle, for sure. It was
I
good to
couldn't
see.
believe it.
You know, well,
I even went up to him after like he got knocked out and everything. I was like, dude, keep more of that up. And he was like, honestly, that's how I drive all the time, but my car just doesn't like to work right. I
it's
was like, yeah,
It's Mustang things, you know.
Mustang things. He's trying to find the crowd.
Yeah, I want to shout out Lee Yearwood. Brought a working RB to the party and was
True.
ripping.
Limiter
Uh,
after limiter.
yeah, so that was a great look. It's a great looking car. Sounds great and it
Yeah,
works, which is
yeah.
cool. So shout out
I didn't
Lee.
even know who that guy was, and then I felt really bad.
Oh,
Cause like everybody's like, oh yeah, go Lee. I'm like, yeah. I saw his Instagram. I'm like, oh, I guess I should probably know who this guy
he's down south. He's pretty cool. Um,
Nice.
and then I also wanted to a guy that's got a lot of proof this year. Is Josh Love. I feel like because he made the year that he went pro. It didn't
Right.
go well. He came back to pro spec last year, and it wasn't a great year for him. So I think this year he's got a lot to prove. Made it to top four this round.
Yeah, he got third.
Yeah. So I think he
I'm.
looked great this weekend.
That's where like I just hope that like he would do that because he was in pro.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm like devil's advocate almost, and I'm like, if you aren't doing well after you've already battled the top, like then why are you getting knocked out in top 32
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
so I definitely him placing in the top 3, I am, like I said, devil's advocate, and I'm like, wow, this is what you should be
Right.
doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's a
Yeah,
lot riding on it. Like
yeah.
because of
Oh, 100%.
you
I
know.
couldn't imagine what that feels like going from pro, like like making that quick jump, because he did like one season of pro spec, right?
Yeah.
Or one or two, and
I think it was
then
two
just
seasons of pro spec. Made it to pro, and then
yep,
bumped down
had
after
a
that.
lot of like issues, this, that, and the other thing, and then came back down. I mean, it's
Oh,
a
he
lot of
came down
money on
because of
top of it.
money,
I was
but
gonna say
yeah.
it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can't compete. So at the end of the day, like props to the dude, but I do expect him to end up on the box every round, honestly.
Yeah, it should be an
So
expectation for him. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, and then you got your boy Jaeger. Finally puts it together. Um,
2 years in a row at Atlanta.
mm-hmm.
Last year third.
Yeah. So he always is in the mix.
He got lucky with Mata.
He did.
He got incredibly lucky. Alex, you got lucky as hell, dude.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
You were nowhere to be found on your chase there, partner.
Yeah. So Mod is interesting because he doesn't usually make a mistake like that where he just spins out.
Yep.
Like that was really weird, but he put WiseFab on the car this year and he says it drives completely different.
Yeah.
So he's just not used to that WiseFab, but that car moves.
Oh yeah, he was looking so good,
Yeah,
so damn
he
good.
might be a problem this year.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
this is his first year not NA, so he's got a big ol' supercharger on it now.
well, does he?
Makes like 9 something to the wheels now instead of like way less.
Yeah.
So and that thing is hooked. I was
Yeah.
watching footage of it and it just looks like it's doing wheelies up the hill. So yeah, so he's gonna be real interesting to see this year. I know he was having belt issues. It just seems like a common thing for everyone that has superchargers. They can't keep a belt in their car.
Yep. Need them
So
10 ribs.
yeah, so he you're right though. He kind Jaeger got pretty lucky with that, but you know
But then he
he made
turned it around.
yeah
He made that one mistake, honestly.
hmm
And but the rest of like his runs, chases, and
you're
everything,
solid.
they were pretty like other
Mhm.
than like Tommy, because I mean Tommy is just he's fast like that and can handle that angle. I feel like overall the 370 chassis just can't necessarily handle the angle and the speed at the same time. You could either have one or the other with that chassis.
hmm
Whereas like even Human, like he's got the angle but then lacks on the speed unless like, you drive it very timidly.
hmm
So
No,
definitely
it's true.
yeah, it could be the partial, PBM stuff. I don't know, like I don't know because then
Yeah.
you look at Forsberg and like he doesn't drive with a lot of angle either, but he's fast,
hmm
very fast.
Right. Yeah, and you know, with Tommy's car, it's obviously proven, well built.
Yeah.
He was ripping 3 years ago when he was in Pro Spec back then, or
Yep.
Pro Two was then.
Yeah. As soon as he showed up, he was definitely one of the
Got
fastest and like angle and the whole
hmm
nine. He was doing it all.
yeah. So no surprise that he wins the event. And you know, he probably might be the guy to beat along with like two or three of these other guys. Um,
Yeah.
I would say disappointment would be Brutsky losing to Cody. Obviously, Cody drove great. I don't remember exactly how the battle went. I know it was a close one, but they did give it to Cody. I think he just left. I think he might have gapped Brutsky going up the hill, I
He
believe.
yeah, and then didn't Brewski go into the kitty litter? Or am I
Or
losing it?
oh, well, he did that in
Wasn't that?
pro. He DB'd.
Oh, that's right. He does compete in two different damn things.
Yeah, and talked to him about that. They so apparently with his tires, you're not supposed to use like lube to put the tires on because they'll come off.
Yep.
And he had DB'd like 3 or 4 times actually, or not 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 times during practice
Because of the
because of they put the lube on to put the tires on, and apparently you can't do that with his wheels or something.
hmm,
Um, and he found out about it afterwards, and that's why
of
they were
course.
having because when he goes over the rumble strips to initiate, um, he would DB'd, and then
Yeah,
as soon as you DB'd, you just go straight into the kitty litter because you have no grip.
right. It's a big drop off. I mean, each one of those is like a few inches.
Yeah.
It's
So that's why that happened to him. But
yep.
yeah, and then oh and obviously Rudy he just seems like that card is not happy still to me.
Yeah, from his hit in Long Beach. Yeah, it didn't seem necessarily completely 100%. I'm sure there's a little structural
Well, I know
damage.
right, I know they took their frame shop and stuff, but it just doesn't look happy. Or it doesn't look
Yeah.
fun to drive. Like usually, you know, when Rudy's going at his best, it's fast, it's very
Yeah, he
pointed and
got on the box last year.
yeah,
Last
so
year here or there.
so it just something's still going on with the car. It looks like same thing happened with him in pro. Probably
Hi, Alex.
What's up, Alex? We're just talking shit about you, so don't worry about it.
We weren't talking smack. We were saying that you did get lucky though during your Mata run.
Yeah. No,
Thank God that old boy spun out for you.
yeah. Tell him his car is gray. It's not white. I don't know why he thinks it's
It
white.
is gray.
It is gray.
No, yeah, no, he says that it's gray. He
Yeah.
gets mad when people say it's white.
Yeah, but isn't the color white or something?
No, it's like I don't even
Alex,
know,
what's
dude.
what's the special color of your car?
Oh, right. The steel, I think on the can actually says like white some.
Yeah, it's like super, but it's like it's not white though.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
it's the same color as your koozie.
Well, this one's used and abused for sure.
This
This one's fresh. You can smell the rubber like on it.
rather be lucky. You know, it's a valid.
Yeah. You see.
There you go.
But yeah. So
Oh,
I mean that.
there is other guy I wanted to hit before we move on to pro.
Who's that?
Brandon McDowell. You remember his lead run?
What car?
It's the Njuku 350Z.
Remember his backwards entry where he flapped his little
Yeah.
fender up. All right, yeah. I know that guy.
Oh, so it's Dove Gray. See, when I think of Dove Gray, I think of white because doves are white. But okay, so it is gray.
You gotta come to New Jersey more often, brother. The Doves are gray there.
Are they? I thought pigeons are gray.
Yeah,
Doves?
same with our doves. Probably
Oh.
all of the stuff in the air.
When I think of dove, you think of the ones that come out of the magician thing and they're like white, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, Denofa gave him a shout out, so you know it was good.
Yeah. Brandon McDowell, the way he drives the car, it's all or nothing with him.
Yeah.
So he's I would actually consider him a similar driver to Chelsea actually in the way he drives, where it's balls to the wall, crazy, and it's either going to work. It's either going to be amazing or be a zero, and there's no in between. So another rookie. I think. Well, did he? No, I think he ran Pro 2 a couple years ago. I think.
McDowell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I wasn't too into the Pro 2 scene. I was big only for. I mean, other than AJ Moose. Shout out to AJ.
Yeah, but I think he did a couple years ago. The problem is you do this long enough and you do other because obviously when I filmed Clutch Kickers, he was competing every weekend there in Clutch Kickers and stuff and.
What? How did he lose? Did they ding him for that entry?
No, he zeroed.
In his chase, right?
In his chase, it was against Farouk. I don't remember why though. I
don't know why either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not for the entry. It was just on the line.
I think
of like too much, or
Yeah, and the thing is he did that because he zeroed.
Inertia. Yeah.
So he was just gonna throw it all out there.
He did great.
Mm-hmm.
Made me excited.
Yeah, right. All right, boys. Let's move on to
the main event.
The main event where nothing dramatic happened at all.
Definitely not between the most popular guy in the Pro 1 scene.
No, not at all.
And the potential running up champion that's fighting for his life to get that goddamn title.
It's been an interesting year for him. Let's just say that.
He was down on power, right? A little bit this event too.
Dude,
I mean, it sounded like it
barely drifting, dude.
That's like against Jeff Jones, I think it was.
It was,
and it was just like, you could hear it like dying as it's like trying.
It was barely driving, dude. I think he's losing supercharger belts. So it's driving probably without belts.
He's just rocking the NA life on a non-NA tune.
I agree, AJ. We can just skip. But
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was all good. So end of the
Yeah.
event, and
All right. Well, let's just start with the first battle and talk about how Vaughn literally just gave James Dean a pass into the top 16.
yeah.
I
Well,
was
I don't
like,
think that he tried it on purpose,
I
but
know,
it
but it
did.
was just like, bro, you're 4 tires off on the top of the
Yeah.
hill. Like, what are you doing?
I think that he wanted to come out like he did last year, and that was like, gangster as hell. Everybody's sharing the video from last year, like just recently, and he just couldn't put it together, you know. But
I find that hard to believe sometimes, just a little bit.
I mean, definitely a little. I mean, I think that I th- needs a VR38 with Link. I think James tried all he could to pass him, but then that's when like Vaughn kicked into Vaughn, and you could tell that there was
He
some
was
clutch
like, he's like,
slipping.
oh, I have an ego
He
still.
he gave it all she had. He gripped that thing up, just kept it clutch slipping, and just like full throttle found the grip and just kept it. Transition was like, "Fuck you, James. You ain't passing your boss."
I've seen the FIFA World Cup flops that were worse than JR's. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he made it entertaining. Like, I'll give it JR that. I'll give him that. He went all four. Was it all four or like 3 tires off at least, up
Pretty
top of the
much all
hill?
four. We'll
Yeah,
call it all four.
yeah. He went all four, but he still made the run look cool. So I'll give him that. You know.
He did. He did make it look cool, and I can't. I love to see my boy up on top of the box. Ireland, number one.
Yeah.
Well, number 1.5, USA number one, but still.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, no, that.
I'm sure he had car trouble issues. Like, who doesn't have car issues?
Yeah,
You know, like you're like, oh no, we're fighting an issue all day today. And
yeah,
we figured it out in Dean's car just as the rest of the event went along. Don't worry about it.
yeah, exactly. Pregnant wife and turds. Poor Shayna.
Yeah, it's time for RTR to go supercharged. No, well, here's the thing: is
They love that
I don't know
nitrous.
how much should I say about this. They have nitrous issues, and they can't really fix the solution because of
Well,
reasons.
They they were told not to run nitrous on them motherfuckers.
No, they run nitrous.
I know, but they were
Lots of
told not
nitrous.
to. I
Yeah,
know they do. I
they run
know.
lots of nitrous on that. But
Like,
nitrous has always been the problems with those cars, and they can't fix it because of reasons, and that's all I can say about that.
yeah,
But yeah, the I don't know. It's just one of those things where, and then freaking what's his face was just going in on the live stream, or on the, well, I can't think of his name. Loudmouth.
Jared.
Yeah, Jared. Couldn't
Oh
think of his
yeah,
name.
saying that he
Jared,
sold and or
dude,
he
Jared
sold
was
it
just
to
going
some
off. I'm like,
girl.
dude, like, how are you
Yeah,
doing this right now?
yeah.
But
You know, that's right, Alex. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I know where they got their motors from and what they told them that they can't do. And this is why that they had to figure out how to build them on their own.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? Yes.
Let's move on to the next controversial battle that
Oh
people were complaining about was Jeff Jones and Manoa,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think we disagreed on this one
You
because
and I?
because you were like, why did Manoa get the win? And I was like, well, he DB'd it on the rumble strips, and you thought he DB'd it off of contact.
Yeah.
But to
I
me, it
did.
looked. But I think he DB'd it off the rumble strips. That's when we saw a loss of smoke from that tire.
Yeah.
He had plenty of he had the grip going up the hill.
I'm just I think again one of those horse blindered on, hoping that Manoa does really well. I like Jeff Jones a lot too. Like I've
Yeah,
grown to really enjoy him, but I want that kid to just succeed.
right. Yeah, so
Shoot for the stars.
it's just weird that they let him change the tire, but still gave the fault or the fault of the DB to Manoa. which I thought
Yeah.
was really
Yeah,
weird.
normally they send out a buy run after that
Yeah,
point.
usually you're just done after you DB'd. And it's like,
Yep.
guys, you're just confusing people by doing
Yeah.
this.
The rule book is in shambles right now.
It is,
It's
and it's frustrating because people are like, "Oh, okay, so they deemed Jones." If people are just watching it, they're like, "Oh, they deemed Jones at fault for the D bead because they
yeah,
let
since he's
Manoa
changing the
since
tire.
he's changing."
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
Yeah.
he D beaded on the rumble strips, but since he hit him earlier in the run, they're like, "Oh, well, now you can change a tire." I'm like, guys, find some consistency here.
hmm
Like,
See Alex is coming.
if you're DBing a 295 DT Rado, 15 years old, with 1,000 horsepower car, you deserve to win.
Yeah, yeah. That kid's definitely gonna be
He's gonna be a
when he
problem.
walks in when he walks in the room, you hear a thud walking around. He's just be thumping. He
So
is
he's
something.
gonna be a problem next year. Once he gets the tracks down
Yeah.
and gets familiar with
That
the car, he's gonna be a problem.
competitive mindset in real life.
He's gonna be a
Like
problem next year for
in
sure.
in or I shouldn't say real life, but in American soil, like
Hmm.
it's completely different compared to like your
Yeah.
homeland,
Well, how long did it take Taguchi to get competitive? And he's a
Oh
great
yeah.
driver.
And then he showed up that one round at St. Louis and everybody was like, "Holy smokes, dude."
Hmm.
All he needed was a couple of backwards entries and he's feeling right at home. Ugh.
Yeah. So he did. Manoa, just give him a couple events. He's got to get used to the car. He's got to get used to the tracks. But he'll be ripping. I'm not too
Lay of the
worried about
land.
it. I just didn't like how the judges in the event handled that situation because it's so confusing for people that
Yeah.
are trying to learn the sport.
No matter which side that you were on, whatever, like if you were on Manoa's side or Jeff Jones's
Yeah.
side, like whatever, because the rules are the rules. Like if there was no fault, like that's just the way it is. Like if
Yeah.
the judges say
And
no
it
fault,
used to be
no tire
so
change,
black and white before they
yeah,
changed it.
they keep and every year there's a little like there's like a little sprinkle of some other like
Yeah.
stuff on there, like this whole 2 second like being straight and then
Oh,
like
don't
you're
get me
fine.
started on that stuff.
That's
Oh, I hate it, dude.
leading into the next one, pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
is I imagine is your
Yeah, it's the LZ battle. Oh yeah, literally the
yeah
next battle. Matt Field
I yeah
LZ.
yeah
You
yeah
know, and oh, it's one of those things where I don't like the new rule change of if you go straight for like a split second or something that your run's not zeroed because
two full
it
seconds.
was so black and white before. It's like, okay, now I know what's going to happen. Now I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to win because
I
it's not a zero. It's a large deduction, but the judges have complete what's the word? Complete
just
discretion
yeah
at how much of a deduction that is.
yeah
And it's like I don't
that's
like that as a fan. I don't like that in general because it makes things very convoluted, hard to understand, and if you're trying to get new people into a sport that needs to be somehow a concrete way to understand this, and now there isn't.
if I see a dude straighten while drifting, I immediately think you
Zero.
lost.
He's zero. He's
You
done.
lost.
All right.
That's not drifting. And like I think I've said this before, but like to put to con to put drifting and basketball, you stay inside the paint for 3 seconds in basketball. That is a long time, and turnover. Ball goes to the other people. Whatever. 2 seconds of straight time is forever. A
Yeah.
run on like Atlanta, the average run time is about 22 seconds for pro spec, 22 to 24 seconds. For pro is like 20. Like a proper mint run is 20 seconds. You take 2 seconds out of that, that's 5% of the run. That's
Yeah.
insane. Like, holy smokes, dude. And that's just one track. Like, I don't know how, like, off the top of my head, like, a run at Long Beach is just a little bit over that
Hmm.
because you got the long, like, the run up, whatever.
Yeah.
still a large percentage of your run you could just take advantage of and grip race up to the next guy. Like, okay, like, all right, what's making me not want to do that? Like,
Right. It's
whew, gets
I
me heated, dude. That gets me so hot
yeah.
right there.
So that's only one part of the run, you know, and it's
We
like everyone's seen
ain't
the
even at
video.
the bread and butter yet.
You know, so it's just like, in my opinion, that run was over by that
Hmm.
point. And
Yep.
then, so
Anything else was the cherry on top from
yeah,
LZ. Yep.
okay. And so LZ, let's say even you wanted to fault LZ for zeroing. All right,
Exactly,
it's
Alex.
like,
19
okay,
seconds.
so it's they both zeroed, rerun it. And this comes to my other issue, is not rerunning battles that have double zeros or zeros in the leads. Or I don't like that because it makes it way harder to understand. And
China.
like, I get it that you don't want bad runs to be rerun, but most of these guys, I would say damn near all of them, can put a good run together, and sometimes mistakes happen.
Yep.
And like, I would rather see them run it again than to just, oh, pick the better of the
Oh,
two
you gave a
bad
thumbs up
runs.
and your camera liked the thumbs up. Did you see you?
Can I don't know, is that like a StreamYards thing, or
If
is this someone
no,
liking the stream?
that's the Apple thing. If you do these two, another thing will pop up.
What?
Yeah. Do these.
To
I ain't kidding.
these?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
weird.
gotta hold it for a sec. Yeah.
That's weird. I didn't know that. I don't like it.
Anyway, sorry.
Quick
But yeah,
derail.
no, like Alex said, only thing I could say is you never stop drifting, and like that is true. This exact scenario I have seen before. One other time, I was at the Gambler, the E Town Gambler, and Chris Knapp was up at battle with another dude chasing. He's coming around the FD course on outer two,
Hmm.
and he gets hit on his driver's side, whatever. Keeps it going. Doesn't realize in that drift scenario that something is broken. So he keeps it going. Goes to transition. Come to find out, his whole subframe is cracked and tie rod's gone. Everything can't continue. He gets the loss because he didn't loop it at that moment of contact. He didn't, shoot off track, whatever. That's when I learned about that rule. I think it sucks, but like it also like I get it, like this whole scenario I do get. I think that the worst part about this Field and LZ run is the fact that Field basically old rulebook zeroed before any of this happened, and then came in like a wrecking ball Miley Cyrus style and just took LZ out.
Well,
Not
okay.
not
I
necessarily
wouldn't
like a
say
wrecking
that
ball.
because it
Yeah.
was a damn close to perfect
it
transition.
it really was. It really
And
he hung
and
him up for like a second, but he had to do so much to catch up. I mean, in a way.
right, but that's
Didn't
the thing with this track, is you have to transition really close there to stay with them. And I've seen Field specifically take people's bumpers off like a bunch of times and make it
Yeah.
look perfect.
Yeah.
So this is not out of the usual for Field. He loves to be real close. I mean, this is what happened between him and Osbo when he went into the wall. Osbo was
Yep.
just a hair too close and caught him.
Yep. That's all it
So
takes. It's just that little tiny
yeah,
bit.
and if you go and look at the video, like, it's very light on how much it actually adjusts the car on transition. And I think
Yep.
and this brings me to Forsberg's battle.
Yeah.
Right in that same area, his car, something happens with his car, and he shuts down as he's transitioning, and the car behind him hits him. Who was it?
I
Was
forget.
it? It was Rome. It was
I think
Rome.
it was his trans though, because I
Yeah,
think that as he
he
was going to
misshifted or
bang
something.
and
Yeah, yeah.
well, and then like as I was standing there, all you could hear was him trying to get it, and
Right.
it's just like, "Grr, grr,
Mm-hmm.
grr."
But
Damn.
same scenario. Play that same scenario with Adam. Oh, Adam
Yep.
just broke something on transition and wasn't
Yep.
able to continue the run. That's what it looks like as it happened. That's what
Yeah.
it looked like.
Yeah.
And the problem is they don't have a camera in the car, so they can't see him quick adjusting, to see whether or not he actually messed it up. Obviously, you saw the bumper get taken off, but that's not
Hmm.
something new. You see that all the time. Guys
Yeah.
taking bumpers off on transition.
I honestly, I didn't think of it that way of like, because it
Mm-hmm.
was so slight the way how he did shut down,
Mm-hmm.
you don't like, Field couldn't see or feel what he was feeling inside the car. And at that moment when it did happen, not for nothing, LZ was driving the car like a like fun car. Like he had hands letting go of the wheel, letting it rotate back. So when it caught mid transition when he was let go. And like the proper thing he could have done was like grab handbrake, reinitiate almost, like clutch in, let it bang. But like he wasn't ready for it. And you were basically was almost like too lackadaisical at that point.
Yeah.
And so the controversy I 100% get. I still think like it was, like
Well, and then it brings
if
up.
it was the old rules,
It wouldn't have been an issue because
it
they would
wouldn't
have
have been
just
an
rerun
issue.
it. Just
Yep.
rerun it.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what it I understand why
Simple.
FD makes these changes. I don't like the reason. I don't like it though. I liked how it was. I liked how concrete it was.
Sure.
Because now it's really convoluted and it creates a lot more pissed off people, and
Yep.
it's a bummer, because that's not what I want around the sport. Honestly, I would rather see good clean stuff, like people being amazed by battles instead of complaining about the results of them.
Yeah, and if it's gonna take you 5 minutes to come up with a call, then just rerun it.
For
Like
real.
the people would, and it's quicker that way. The people would rather see that, and like like you get more seat time. It's
Mm.
it's like a triple win. There's like probably like a quarter of a loss in that, and it's
Yeah.
your money.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you got to now pay for that run, which
Yeah.
at Atlanta,
And
based on the
just to
rainy
let you know,
runs, it's like,
like for example, like format error says there's marks on his rear subframe. Judges can't
mhm,
see that. There's no way you can see that. It's dark. Like
yeah,
you can't see marks on a subframe.
which like it, like after the fact, it's like,
Maybe you could
damn.
ask Kevin to look at the car when they come back up to the line. Like that's maybe something you could do. Be like, hey, is there marks like on his bash bar and
But
shit?
but
You know?
even then, in like a quick, like, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like somebody on a football field, like the ref's gotta like make a call in an instance, and he like, there's two of them out
They do
there.
have some time compared to like a
Yeah,
football, but I
right,
get what you're
yeah,
saying.
but like,
Yes.
like in the grand scheme, like you gotta like run around a car, like you want to like get underneath of it, and this, that, the other, like all this stuff. And like they every year they try, they try a little bit more.
I
This
feel like
year, I
they
think
tried too hard this year
I
with
think
the
this
rules.
year that the rules are biting them hard in the ass. I
Mm,
feel really bad for Reese. I genuinely do.
yeah, and the thing is, they brought up the chat brought up another battle. It was Olsen and gosh, who was it?
Literal.
Yeah, Olsen and Literal. Luckily, that
Yep.
one was much more obvious
Yeah.
because you can see Literal hit him and he can't transition, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, that's obvious.
And Literal did come out to say he had no clutch. Like, so
Yeah, yeah.
he was just he couldn't really like articulate the car in a way
Mm-hmm.
that, he had to be all or nothing at
Right.
that point. So that one, like, I do get, like he literally came in like a wrecking ball
Yeah.
rather than
So
like,
to answer Format's question on how long protests were taking, it was a good bit.
uh,
It took him like 20
yeah.
minutes usually. It was a whole ordeal. And, oh, here's my dog. Hi, buddy. Puppy.
Yeah.
But it was a whole ordeal. It was not an efficient way to do it, unfortunately. Um, and the fact, and here's the whole protest thing, right? So, the first, how many years of FD have we had? Is it
21.
21? So
This is our 21st.
the first like 19 years of Formula Drift, meta, stop.
Even last year, dude. 20,
Um,
20 years of
yeah.
protesting.
So the first 20, no. So this is where it changed last year. So the first 19 years of Formula Drift, I think one or two protests were actually overturned calls. Last year we
Uh,
had 3 or 4 protests overturned
Oh,
overturned
yeah,
calls
yeah.
in 1 year alone. So it was one of those things where it was kind of like something there was kind of like problems starting because there was a lot of protests last year. So there's not a streamlined way to do it. The problem is you don't want to make it streamlined because you don't want to encourage teams to do it for no good
Right.
reason.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like the one where Novak's roof came off, remember at Irwindale a couple years ago?
Yeah.
It's like, is that really a big deal? Yeah, it's it's like, son of a bitch.
Alex, I would kind of disagree. I think you may not have heard about it, but in the pit, like in the media area, like we hear from like Larry's guys and stuff that when protests are going on, and there were definitely some causes of some pretty big weights last year, that were because of protests.
Yeah,
So it
it's
was,
pretty bad.
yeah, it was definitely not an ideal scenario. My dog wants me to play fetch with her.
But I mean, overall, like, I do feel you, like, because you are, I hate this, you are in prospect, so, like, only 4 events out of the year where, like, we're sitting through the shit hour after hour. And,
Yeah.
like, we feel, like, the track workers, the media people, the whoever's out there feel it a little bit more. I feel like, and I hate to be like almost entitled sounding like that, but like it's just like
Okay.
you're just sitting there.
Right.
So,
And
so
and
I'm
so
saying in the history of drifting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean overall, like protests overall genuinely haven't been an issue with like
Yeah.
keeping the show going because if there's a protest, there's typically another run happening. Like
Exactly.
another, so I
Well,
do agree.
yeah, but the thing is, the judges have to look at the cameras to see what is being protested, if it's a
Yeah.
protestable thing, kind of thing.
Yep.
Um, but
And normally any good like any normal person wouldn't protest something that is like left field. Like they're bringing something to the table that's like here's a fact. Like I have like here's the rule, here's the fact. What are we going to do? So like I normally yeah, I could see how like it's pretty speed lined. But like anymore it's with this newfound rule book, this is why they took out protests because they don't
yes,
know. They don't know.
and it just makes it so that you have to get the call right, and when you don't, it's that much worse.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know
Yep.
if people can hear my dog, but she's wants to play, and apparently,
Hey, that's life, man.
yeah,
You gotta
dogs
tend to the babies.
exactly. Um,
Yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, and you watch the run. Obviously, the hard part is because Adam still halfway transitions. That's what makes it look weird. That's why the judge was like, "Oh, did he just shut it down?" kind of thing.
yep. He
And
he should have kept it going.
yeah, and that would have I think helped things a lot. He would have spun out, and then the judges would
Yep.
have been like, "Okay, so that's kind of weird. Why did he spin out?" kind of thing. Um, and his bumper's obviously off the car.
Yeah.
And there's been instances where this has happened, and you'll see the guy slingshot and spin because of being hit on transition.
Right.
So I completely understand the point of staying in it and whatnot. I get Adam's frustration because obviously he was hit, and it's like, what are you gonna do? But and it's just funny because that location was a spot of issue for a couple people. We've already talked about Olson. Obviously, that
Yep.
happened there, and then
How many camera angles? That's a good question. I'm
zero.
not on it.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
was gonna
any.
say.
Zero.
Yeah.
They see
Well,
what
I
you see.
I think that like so they get to use though the F
They get to
like
pick which camera they want to see,
yeah like the
but they don't.
actual staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if worst case scenario, they can use footage from their FD media guys and
Yeah.
maybe some GoPros that are hanging around from them. But that takes a long time to get that footage up to them. So they really try not to use that stuff. They really try and do what's on the live stream to make the call.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the cool things about drifting, at least last year, was the fact that um, we had new winners every round pretty much, and it was kind of a crapshoot, kind of a bummer thing. And it's not completely a bummer thing, but like this event had the same exact top four that we did in Long Beach, and I was like, oh well, that's no fun. But
Hell yeah, James Dean.
yeah,
Dude, 3 points away for Simon though.
yeah, I know. Well,
That is
Simon's
crazy.
Simon's coming out to play,
I am pumped for it.
and it's funny because him and Odie had to battle.
I know. Poor Odie exploding. I do have to run a pee.
All right,
But I'm
see ya.
still here. I'm still here.
But turn your mic off, silly.
I'm gonna.
This freaking guy, man. Oh, but yeah, and Olsen, heck of a drive, and then you go to Odie, and that was hard to see live. That was a loud explosion. Fire covered the entire car. Obviously, you saw when he hits the fire suppressant, it takes it out for a little bit, and then he's got to get out of the car. Um, I watched that clip back, and you can hear Jared's voice. Jared loves to be like pretty uppity about things, even when people crash and stuff. But like you could hear in his voice, like he was pretty concerned about it, and it was that was hard to watch. But he made it out, and it is what it is. It looked like an exploding intake, probably nitrous or something. But yeah, that was wild. Can we talk about the highest finishing American at Road Atlanta? Who's the highest finishing American at Road Atlanta? What is that, Rome?
Wait, Rome's not American. Wait a ticket.
What do you mean Rome isn't American? He's American.
Is he?
Well, I guess, yeah.
I don't know. But also, sorry, I was listening.
Yeah.
Odie's car, that thing.
Easy there, Crackle Pops.
Dude, it's only got like 1 millimeter of perfectness. I'm sorry. This thing's a couple years old.
You're the highest placing American, Alex?
I think he is probably.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, genuinely you are. Let's go, my boy Forrest Fassberg, baby, number 1.
Rome is from California, I thought.
I guess he's a Canuck.
I mean, his last name sounds very French Canadian. Yeah.
I just look at him. I just think like European, because like you can't be that like dapper and like face structured without being like European. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But Odie's car, like, it backed the crank out. Like, so it backed the crank out. It blew the intake off. It blew a hole in the intake piping. It blew a hole in the intake. Oh my god, dude, that thing was chooched. that thing saw a lot of pressure at one time and found any escape point that it could all at one time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's the biggest explosion I've ever seen on a car.
That was bad. Yeah, that was like, I'm glad that he's all right. And like you were saying, Jared was like genuinely scared. Like, yeah, going back on like the live stream, like he was like, Odie, get out. Odie, please get out. And like even after he was out, like just Odie, get out of there. Like, he's like, I know he's out. Just get out.
Yeah, and that was wild to see, and obviously, of course, dumps everything out of that car right where they initiate, so that's always great.
Yeah.
I mean, props to him for keeping it off the wall. Let's just point that out. While his car is burning to the ground, he's like, "Oh, I'm about to smash headfirst into a wall," and the worst case scenario is he hits the wall and then he can't open the door to get out, which is the. I mean, I guess you get out the window, but
he
Still
definitely he kept it together through
pulled this fire suppression.
chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, through chaos, he kept it together. Like genuinely incredible. Like that dude is. Oh, let's see. It snapped the crank, which threw off the cam sensor trigger, and then the RPMs dropped, which brought it to the nitrous window, so the ECU started dumping nitrous. Holy smokes!
Alex with the breakdown.
Yeah, thank you, Forrest. Yeah,
That
yeah, that definitely that explains it there.
was
I
wild.
knew it was bad. I knew that there was a lot of pressure at one time, and that certainly would do it right there.
Right. And
Because
and
damn,
yeah, and that was crazy. Another guy I wanted to talk about, and here's the crazy thing, because the controversy doesn't stop with that run.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Because before that, Rome goes flying off track, and at first I'm like, he must have broke something. Tyrod. I mean, that car has been beat to crap this event. Like,
Yeah.
he was hit pretty much every lap or every run. He hit Forsberg, I'm pretty sure. Higa ran him over. Like,
Yep.
like he was beat up. And then he hit Simon Olsen in practice. So
Yeah.
he beat the crap out of that car.
That
But-
poor 1 Series is seeing.
Yeah, so for my anger, I'm like, okay, he just broke something. The car is no more. Like, I get it. And he goes off track, and Odie flies around him, blows up the car. Little do we find out, Odie hit him really hard on entry.
I had no idea. Like you were in the vehicle. Yeah, you were driving my ass
Yeah.
when we drove past Rome, and I was like, dude, I just kept trying to pan and figure out where you went, and I just couldn't find you.
Well, you're talking about the Higa hit. I'm talking about the Bocce's hit.
Oh yeah. I was talking about the Higa hit.
Yeah,
the
so
the Higa hit let him into a sling.
yeah,
up
that
against-
that was nuts. But what I'm talking about is the Bocce's hit. Did you hear about that?
Well, I was there.
Right.
I don't necessarily recall 100%, but
So Bocce's hit him, and he went into the kitty litter.
right. Yeah, he did that a couple times.
Well, during the battle, and then they gave Odie the win because they didn't think it was a big enough hit to send him into the kitty litter.
Oh, that's how Odie progressed.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You have that run?
Yeah, I
Do you
do.
have it?
Yeah, let me pull her up. I've been halfway avoiding going on YouTube because
Oh,
I'm
to pull anything?
because I'm scared to see how Streamlabs reacts
Yeah,
to this.
Odie hit him on initiation, then exploded.
Yeah. So let me-
AJ, you honestly, dude, you'd be surprised how much that I see, but I don't see.
Well,
at the
it's
same
the
time.
the problem is his initiation is super hard to see.
Yeah.
If you're in the bowl, just the way they come down, and it's dark as crap. So
Whole
you can't-
driver's side of the car was caved.
Yeah.
Damn, we would have saw Rome in potential finals.
Yeah. So that was like, you see what I mean? Like, there was so many things that happened this weekend, and it was so hard to keep track of all of it. And you talk about that Higa hit, that was wild. I was like, that looked like it hurt a lot.
Yeah, like even if like the hit wasn't hard, like all the rocks that probably flew in and just like peppered him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the initial hit is what hurt
Golly.
him though.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
All right, so this is Dean and Osbo. Is Dean and yeah? Okay, there it is. All right, let's just watch this.
How much you believe of me paying attention but not paying attention? I pay attention. I make
Wait,
sure
so
that I
why
try
did
to
Odie
do
get
my
the-
hardest that things are in the box and on focus. That's my biggest paying attention.
All right, so you obviously, can you see anything? No, you probably can't.
No.
All right.
Now
How
I
about
can.
now? All right. Cool. All right. Chat, let me know if you can hear and see
for one, and then two,
Yes.
as far as advancement, what's going to happen here, Odie?
Let's see.
I'm trying to turn it down
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
loud.
yeah, yeah.
What it really came
Yeah,
down
we can
to
see.
is that we do
Not a
notice
problem.
that when Odie was chasing Rome, there was a little bit of contact there. There was a bump, and there was
I like
another
the
little
red
tap.
light that they had on
We
the
as the judges
judges
don't
this
feel
round
that
too.
those bumps or those hits caused Odie to go off track
You
the way it
notice
did.
that?
We kind of see that
Was
he
that
kinda
like
just
for any
coasted a little
purpose,
bit.
or was that like
to go off
So
track.
here it
Yeah,
is.
for Rome to go off track. We kind of see,
Just
you kind of
cool
see comes
style.
here. There's a tap there. There's
Tap
another
there.
tap there, and then he kind of just coasts a little bit, gets back on throttle, goes off
Oh,
track
wow.
into the gravel pit.
So you see
We
that?
don't
That's what
feel
I'm
that
talking about.
Odie
And then he
was
goes down
a
and
little bit of
blows up the
contact
car.
There was a bump, and there was another little tap. We as the judges don't feel
Damn.
that those bumps or those hits caused Odie to go off track the way it did. We kind of see that he kind of just coasted a little
Yeah.
bit.
For Rome
let's
to go
see
off track.
this.
Yeah, for Rome to go off track. We kind of see, you kind of see comes here.
Wow,
There's a
yeah.
Hits him
tap
there,
there's
and
another
then
tap
hits him
and then
there.
he kind of just coasts a little bit,
His
gets back
trunk
on,
just
goes off track
bopping
into the gravel
around.
pit.
Yeah,
We don't feel
and
that
s-
Odie hits were hard enough in order to make Rome's car react that way.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, and yeah,
And,
you know, this,
and then it blows up. But yeah, so that's why he won.
Damn, he caught him right in the tire.
Yeah. And so this is where, again, protesting is like where you could be like, look at the damage to my car, and it messed something up in the rear, which made it shoot off course.
Yeah.
You know, and then again, this is where protesting might have helped, you know.
Another
So
crap call by Darren. Darren. Well, not by Darren, but Darren says another crap call.
yeah, you know, and it's tough because
It is hard. It's hard to be a judge. It truly is. You know, like
because I remember seeing it live and I just thought it was kind of weird. I assumed Rome had just like broke a tie rod. I want to
like,
see if I can find the live version of it because I'm sure there was like an hour between this and when it blew up.
there was quite the time in between.
Yeah, it's freaking bananas. Alright,
Yeah, I mean,
Bocce's a
AJ,
there
I
we
think
go.
I think that there's only like a
Another car
couple,
that, I mean,
like
looks like they pulled
Kevin
it out of his hat at this
and
point.
Trey, maybe,
Aw, man,
that are
come
up,
on.
I love
like
it, dude.
waiting
Vince's
for
got
the
one
cars to
together.
like pull off after the track is done.
Yeah, so this is live. And see if you see how it would kind of react in your eyes. Or oh, this is the chase run.
Not a problem. Look at that. Look at Rome's car.
Bro, it just looks like it's been to war and back, you know?
Just one round.
There's a lot to think about.
Well, you got, like you said, perspective of how much do I trust fall this person?
Right.
You know, you're like, all right, hold my trust fall. You know, how much you really, really trust them.
This is one of the only sports.
Damn,
where
it
you
was
have to
so
trust your own.
hazy out.
You have to-
Oh,
you know
it's
that they're gonna do
sucked
their
to film.
job
The
correctly.
humidity was crazy.
Can't even see the cars.
Nope. It's like it's
As he hits him,
no.
hits him.
Yep.
And you see how it just looks like he just turns off and goes off?
Yeah.
So I can see the reasoning
Yep.
why they would kind of think that, but the overhead view really makes it look like he really messed up his line.
Yeah, like by hitting his the rear wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But from that perspective, it genuinely looks like Rome just like drove off. It's like, I don't want it anymore.
Exactly.
Much do I trust fall this person?
Yeah. And
You're like, all right, hold my
Damn.
trust fall. You know,
yeah, and it's the thing that people miss after all of this stuff, you know. I'm sure the chat was on fire about LC, and the chat was on fire about a couple other things, and to see, and then this kind of gets hit by the wayside because Odie
Yeah.
blows up his car, and nearly melts the entire chassis to the ground.
Yep. And also because LZ and followers, like the combo of both things, it's like, alright, you got your bad call on LZ field, and then you got the cool like blow up on Odie. disregard, the fact that poor Rome just got booped off the course.
Right.
Get out, Odie, get out.
All right.
Damn. I mean, the rest of Odie's run was looking good though.
Yeah. Well, it was looking good until it wasn't.
Here it is again. I'm watching it on you. It just pops. Damn.
Yeah.
That thing really just said, "See ya." Holy smoke! And then not for nothing, like Simon couldn't complete his finals run.
Yeah.
Because it was. I heard him saying like when they were like all around like the on track like circle. It's like, yeah, the temperatures are hitting like 240 basically.
Right.
I don't know what a safe temperature is for an LS, but I know that for a JZ, that's not a very good temp.
No, that's toasty. So
Yeah. So
it's I was kind of a bummer
That's-
because you never like seeing battles won because of cars failing,
yeah,
But
That's- 2 potential fuel motors that might need to be repaired.
yeah.
Well, I mean, 100% definitely needs to see. That one needs to see Jesus.
Yeah.
But Simon's definitely. I mean, that one might need to see a little help itself, which
Yeah.
would be sad,
No, for sure.
So if Rome appealed that call, and I can't see because the damn heart is in the way, and was successful, would he get Odie's 4th place points? Well, there's no more appeals.
No, there is. There's
That is-
appeals. There's no.
Oh, there's appeals.
So you
there's
can
no protest.
you can appeal after the event to get points for that
yeah.
round. I don't think they
Right.
take away points though. I think they just give you next round's points. If I'm
Oh.
correct in saying yes.
So it's just like sweep it under the rug and just toss in a couple extra points type style almost.
Yeah. So I think that's how it would work if you won the appeal.
Huh.
Problem is you gotta win the appeal. But
Dang.
yeah. So squeaky clean event. Went on without a hitch. I would like to say I love filming in Atlanta. I love the atmosphere. The track is beautiful.
The people.
The hill can go screw itself, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then the traffic is rough.
The
kinda-
people is great though.
Yeah, dude. It's
I'm from Jersey. E-Town is my home track. I love everybody that's there. I love seeing the people I know. But nothing beats Atlanta's crowd. Genuinely.
it's
Like,
true.
Like the people, the guy with the sign, the guy with the megaphone. Like, come on. Like, so many. Like, you could just sit wherever you want. You could bring a barbecue. You could just hang out.
Hmm. Well, like, one of the signs said "Bring protests back."
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Protest to protest.
Yeah. So I just think it's such a great venue, and I love. Another guy wanted to give a quick shout out to. Dan Burkett made top 8.
Hell yeah. Bad Dan.
Yeah. Took out Turkey.
He did. Turk is still figuring out the weight balance on that old B58.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna be the guy to beat this year, and then not
Which
yet
I
so
do-
far.
I do think is kind of crazy. Gonna just slightly tap into this. The rule book, and you can't adjust firewalls, right?
Right.
Well, how come Turk's car has an adjusted firewall?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Is it adjusted? I haven't seen
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's one of those things. Like, what can we do? What can we do? What can't we do? To what extent? Like,
Mhm.
what is the limit? Like, I don't give a flying damn. Like, what you do. You could. I hope that you put in a damn F12 in that thing. Whatever
V12 or
Ferrari.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, like off of a Ferrari, like old F1 car. But um, yeah, I mean, you can't have this, that, the other thing, and then all of a sudden there's this
Right. You know,
fancy new whatever, just because you're from this team, that team, whatever. Like I don't know. Like I have no qualms against him or anything. I'm all for the new power plant, but like I just find that to be a little crazy. Like everybody else has to like jump through hurdles to get through that. Yeah, that's Toyota money. Could
yeah.
be.
Well, it's the Rockstar money too. You don't think about
It
that.
is absolutely. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I mean, the thing is I would rather have Turk in here with a 6-cylinder than a 4-cylinder. That's for sure. So
He is definitely. I mean, he's never won a championship, right?
nope.
Which is crazy to me, because he is like, if I was to put together a list, I would put like him like at the top, of like best FD drivers. And it just sucks, him, Field, they've never won. Their time is coming as long as they stick
Maybe.
it through.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's
At the
got
same time,
Dean's getting at home in that Mustang, and we got a bunch of new kids
that's
coming in
that's
like Olsen.
that's my boy.
Olsen and Odie's never won.
Odie has never won either.
So
That's another one that I would put at the top.
So there's a lot of competition, and we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. I don't think it's going to be these same 4 guys again in the top 4. It's
No.
very unlikely. Just the way these events go.
Who's your top 3 pick for Orlando?
Well,
That you're not going to be there for.
Right. Well, the guy just asked who I think is going to win Orlando. Orlando is usually won by a Nitto car. It's usually a Mustang, so I think Dean's going to win Orlando. It's just they have the best tires, or the biggest tires, and I think it's probably the best for tire degradation. And that track is really bad on tires. So unless so usually a Mustang usually does good there and at Seattle, or a Nitto car usually does good there at Seattle. So it's either them or Osbo, or maybe Turk. But I think it's a boring pick, but I think Dean's gonna have Orlando unlock. But who else does good there?
Forsberg.
See, I picked Forsberg for Atlanta, and didn't happen for him. The old mischief.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Long Beach 2 years ago. He basically chooched a transmission at that event too.
Yep.
Just going through the gears and like the rings on it. He just like chunked each one. Yeah. That man is not a fan of waiting for it to get fully engaged on the clutch and to bang it into a gear. He is just like, no, we're gonna do this now.
You know who I have coming in, getting a top 4 finish that needs it?
Yeah.
Matt Field.
That's what I was gonna. I picked him on a podium in my brain.
Yeah, I think he.
He's good at Orlando.
He needs some redemption. And that car is fast. So
I feel maybe even honestly, dude, even Brandon Sorensen. I don't know why. I'm feeling like he's
another guy. Another controversial battle between him and Odie. Yeah. We almost forgot about that one. I mean, I personally don't think it's that controversial. Yes, Odie's lights briefly went red on the transition at the end of the run, but
how much can you really trust him at the end? You're holding inertia.
Yeah, Brendan came in flying.
Yeah.
And everyone gets off throttle to transition for that final corner.
Yeah, and even if it's you're not completely off, you're still on a little bit. There's still a decel because the car's gonna nose front, you know.
Yeah, and so because you don't transition on throttle there, very few people do, and it looked like
Hmm.
that's what Brendan did to stay in there for the most part and surged right into him. And because the thing is he put on a hell of a chase run before that. It was one of the best chase runs of the day. I literally
Yep.
just posted it on Instagram, and it was really good, but you just a little bit too much and took him out there at the end, and it's hard because Brendan's one of those kids that's like, it's gonna break for him at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got no fear.
yeah,
He's got no care, no fear.
I
He's
think he's gonna have,
all.
I think he's gonna have a top four finish this year,
I
at
do
least
too.
one, you know.
He's putting together like some crazy lines or like just runs in general. Like throwing max angle, like speed, not losing speed. Yeah, he's definitely coming into his own this year.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what we got. Malik's got Dean, Odie, and Osbo top three. That's real
All right,
original.
we got
There, bud.
Malik, we got Connor, Vaughn, and Adam. Oh, for what drivers are not running a full season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Connor missed
well,
his one
Power's not
round.
running a full season because he didn't show up
Yeah,
to Atlanta for
technically.
because his
Sad.
car, which is sad because like I talked to him after that crash in Long Beach and he seemed okay,
Yeah.
but obviously that did a number to the car.
Yeah. And now I think he's just doing like extra like bits and bobs to really make that thing like even more good.
Mm-hmm.
Gooder.
Well, his car's never been fast, or he's just not a fast driver, or per se.
I think
you
I
know.
think he's a little skittish, you know.
Well, I don't know
He's
about
got his
yeah.
moments where they really shine.
He's
Genuinely.
a good consistent driver, but the thing is when you get to this level, you can't just be a good consistent driver. You need to have some aggression to your driving as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where he doesn't always put the most aggressive runs in, you know.
Yeah, he's how I would probably be, and a lot in your head.
Mhm.
Like I would be a mental case out there, losing my mind every run.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I forgot Kearney wasn't at the event.
Yeah, he didn't even make no post about it.
I mean, when you get that hyper NFT money, I mean, you do what you want, I guess.
I guess, but not show up to a round
Yeah.
of FD.
No, I
But
think
you know,
should be interesting. We'll probably do one of these right before Orlando, before you head out. To kind of
Yeah.
talk about what's going into that event. You're gonna have your first time running the show.
yeah, getting content out to people.
Gonna be a good time.
Yeah, just gotta you gotta tell me who needs what.
Will do. I think
I'll be
Osbo and
there.
Dean are getting 4th chip this year.
Yeah, I think that yeah, one or the other is gonna take the cake. I think.
I would think Dean over Osbo.
I do too.
Dean's looking really happy in the car this year.
Which is crazy. Second year, and it's just like, yeah, no, this is fine. This is this isn't too bad.
Right. I just what I would love to see is Peter Visick come over in the S15 and just see what happens. I just
I
want
don't
to
know if he'll
see.
drive. Do you think he'll drive that car anymore, or is he gonna stick to the soupy
No,
poopy?
he'll probably build another Supra and bring it over if he were to come
Yeah.
over. But I just want to
Yeah.
see the difference between FD 5 years ago
And
and FD now, and just see what's the speed difference, what's the driving difference, you know?
Yep.
Because him and Dean were untouchable when
Yeah.
they came over, and
yeah,
so
they made everybody else look like a bunch of fools.
yeah, so I would want to see him in that car compete with today's cars and see what would happen.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Honestly,
Certainly would
he probably wouldn't do it because he'd probably want to make over 1,000 horsepower like everyone else now.
Yeah, not a conservative like 850.
Yeah,
You know.
it was like a 900 horse TJ was what
Yeah.
they were running. Yeah,
Yep. Like 295s or whatever the hell it was.
that's pansy power now. Come on.
It really is. That's pro spec power. for
Yeah.
no reason.
For no reason. Like, I was talking to every prospect driver I talked to pretty much was like, hey, so what'd you do this year? Oh, I added another 100 horsepower. I'm like, oh, okay.
Great.
That's
cool.
good.
How's the car set up? Well, we're working on that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what's up. Yeah, disregard the actual thing that keeps you going at a good pace, but yeah, just dump more power into it that you don't know if it's gonna survive.
Right. Oh,
Oh
man.
my
It's so
God.
funny.
But all right.
All right. I think
Yeah.
that's a solid show. Thanks for everyone hanging out. And
Yeah.
I think we'll end her off here. That was a good time.
Shout out to we got a prospect driver in chat tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Someone
Malik,
had
thanks for being here from the beginning, dude.
Yeah. Someone had
Catalyst. Oh,
some people had
sorry.
nothing to do tonight, you know? It's
yeah, for
like us, you know? We're like, got nothing going on, right?
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima came out tonight for PC, so
Uh-oh. That's gonna
Yeah, might give
gonna be a lot of hours there.
might give that a 1-2 whirlaroo. Or I'll just turn some more labs on Assetto and get mad at everybody on there.
Yeah, Ghost is good. Ghost is a good game. You need to play it.
It's
a good game. It's really good.
Oh yeah, you're a PlayStation guy.
I have both.
Oh,
I'm a cheater.
all right.
I got a PlayStation because all my friends switched over to PlayStation, but I still have the Xbox, so I'm like, yeah.
So you
know.
get the best of both worlds. You got
Yeah, I mean-
Bloodborne and you have I don't know what else is on Xbox.
Forza.
Oh yeah, Forza.
I like Horizon stuff a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I have yeah. This isn't really a conversation for this kind of stuff, but
Not a problem, dude. Not a problem.
Yeah.
You do any drag racing on Horizon?
drag racing, no. I like drifting on the roads there.
Oh,
But the
My
newest
fav-
one
my-
sucked for drifting.
yeah, I
There's-
know. My favorite thing for the newest one was drag racing. I
Really?
never enjoyed drag racing on Forza, and then I played the Horizon 5, right?
Mhm.
I built a Supra that would do wheelies. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. Like, we ain't doing burnouts, nothing. We're just digging in and just doing wheelies.
It's
Hell
fine.
yeah.
It's totally realistic. Okay, don't worry about it.
But,
All right, man.
all right, dude. Yeah, all right, everybody. Thank you for
Thank
all
you.
being here. And
If you want to
keep
like,
it
share,
vertical.
go follow Herbie. Where do they want to follow you at?
Don't follow me.
Don't follow.
No. I'm kidding.
He loves having creepers behind his shoulder. Don't worry.
Just following me. I'm Herbie Media. If you type, I'm sure if you just type in Herbie, I'd probably pop up. There's not too many of us.
He's kind of a big deal.
I've reached out to the main Herbie on Instagram at least 5 different times if he could sell me the account. It's just, I reached out to him when he was like MIA. It's an Asian
Yeah.
dude,
Okay.
and he didn't post for like a couple of years. Reached out to him a few times, nothing. Now he posts like all the time, and I'm so mad. Like, dude, you could have been Herbie Media. I could have been Herbie.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
I almost switched my name to Big H,
Shit.
but I didn't.
Big Hooters.
Big. But
All right. See it.
good.
All right. Thank you guys for watching again. Like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
we'll see you until next time.